Hi everyone, Ina here from Be Curious Podcast, and today I have the great chance to have a conversation with a new community project called Kokudaka, based in Japan. As you can see in the background, it's their site. It's in Japanese though. Before I jump into the conversation with the founders, I wanted to give you like a quick introduction of this podcast today and the project itself. So Kokudaka Project started in Japan in Fukushima in a Nishi-Aizu town. It's helping now rice farmers to connect directly with consumers. The main project idea is to remove the middleman, as we know. Now, why this project is important? As you know, rice has had play a significant value in the past in Japan and also plays a role now in food production. It was a currency before in the samurai era, and it was called at the time the rice standard, where people would exchange products and trade with each other based on the rice. So, as we know that rice had such an important value for the Japanese culture as well, it also plays such a good role in nature and environment. For example, it helps to control the floods or maintain biodiversity. And today, however, in Japan, farmers, especially rice farmers, face a lot of challenges. Nishi-Aizu town, which is a mountainous area, faces even harder challenges because they don't have a high yield to produce a lot of rice. But the second thing is that the elder population, it makes it even harder for them to produce or maintain the rice paddies. Now, just for fun, let me share with you a little bit of their website. This is Kokudaka Project, and nice to meet you, of course. And something we will learn on the podcast will be how to get the NFT and how to buy the rice. And lastly, I wanted to show you this video, which is pretty cool, from the last year on the rice harvesting. This is actually the local community that people buy the rice through the mobile application, and then they come here to meet the rice farmers and help them with a local event, such as, for example, harvesting. So all of these people here in the video are the community, actually. So in other words, Fukudaka Project goal is also to increase the awareness among the consumer on how agriculture plays a role, and to connect also with the rice farmers and learn about their challenges. That's it from my side. Please enjoy the conversation with the founders. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this call. My name is Ina, and I appreciate this time differences between Japan and USA, and for making time to come to Be Curious podcast. I just talked now with Nagahashi-san, and he's explaining about this project of Kokudaka, which is a Web3 project in Nishi-Aizu in Fukushima, where they help support the farmers to produce rice for various of reasons, such as now Japan has an elder generation and they have issues with the passing of the knowledge, but also like who is going to inherit the land. And the second thing was that now the cost of producing rice in Japan is increasing very high, the cost of production. This project, Kokudaka Project, is helping the farmers to make the people buy, I think, beforehand the rice, and then they secure it. It's gambling in a way.
A little bit, because the consumer, the risk is not really high. It's very low risk. Only the time when the big natural disaster happen, consumer might not be getting rice compared to how much they invested.
Yeah.
It's more about like community supported agriculture.
Yes. That's very cool. Is this a little bit like, I don't know, in Japan there is a tax benefit, like you can pay taxes, for example, for akitaken, and you can get sake in return.
Yes.
Is
Town
this
tax.
so hometown tax? 食
Yeah.
税なんでしたっけ？
ふる
ふるさとの
さと納税。
そう。ふ
Yes.
るさと納税。ちょっと同じ logic or
A little bit similar in terms of tax. thing like the person who pay the Furusato hometown tax can reduce. Anyways, they need to pay tax, right? And getting some products
Some
from the town.
benefit. It's
Yeah,
just to
but
support the local farmers or local industry, I think,
yeah,
in that sense.
yeah.
Challenge は何でしたっけ?
Okay, I will explain why I thought that blockchain and the license is good too. In older time, like I'd say 160 years ago, in Japan, the rice itself was the basic currency. The rice was the fundamental value of everything. Like in the samurai
Era.
period, yeah, samurai era, like they get the salary by basically the how can I say the measurement.
It's a currency. Yeah, yeah.
It's like a currency. Like Kokudaka is the name of the unit that how much you have the rice. So if I'm like a richer, I can get like 100 and then that's gonna determine your
In society. Ah, okay.
yeah
If you have
status
more,
also.
you are
Yeah,
higher in the status.
yeah, and then only the time when they need the money to use or for to exchange to something, they bring the rice to the exchange market and then they exchange to the money. Yeah, like people are not really using money. More about exchange. So
Exchange rice for something, azuki beans, for
yeah,
example, or something
yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah. And because they could not move around all over Japan, like they were stuck in their own like crown. But in that time, like Japan, uh, Japan, each crown had to have a plan to sustainable production and everything. Each crown had their own property, right? And then all farmers are working for that. So they, in terms of like making their own crown strong, they had to create self-sustaining society. In terms of that age, that period, that era's system of property management was really great. No garbage, no wasting, everything were recyclable. Of course, in that time we didn't have any like metals, not many irons or plastics, those kind of industrialized. Yes, we didn't have, so that's why it was very easy to produce, maintain, and waste. This is a very important part because
Okay.
even like all the garbage thing became like compost thing. Yeah, and that's why in Japan we could protect the water resources and we could sustainably maintain our land itself in a way that human being could utilize it, right?
For
But
generations.
yeah, for generations. But because now like efficiency and productivity is the most important value for the people in such like a countryside, like the where the topography is very steep, people don't want to do any production anymore because not making money. It's just too much work.
Too much physical work as well.
Don't work. So and because of older age and also not young people anymore, and because of the technology, the farmer require too much people. If it's a flat plain, they have huge land and only one person can maintain.
One field.
Yeah, that's also strength that not many human resources and want to be a farmer. High school teacher cannot tell them like your future is bright. Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
much complex problems accumulated. That's why I thought if we could use a blockchain to create local economics, it's like a regional currency or regional economics. It could be easier to think about the natural resources and our life itself. We could just exchange based system.
Yeah.
It's going to be very closed system.
Yeah.
But if we could put all those exchange system on NFT, even another country person
Can
can buy
participate.
or
Yeah.
participate. And I think all over the world, I would say like similar situations, countryside struggling from same problem. So I would say in all over Japan, like 70% of our land is in the countryside. Many countryside people having exactly same problem. But we have so much natural resources, like we have fish, forest, and agriculture products or
Yes.
everything. But if we once we start selling to the
Mm-hmm.
market, the price become very high, and the
Mm-hmm.
farmer or like a fisherman cannot really buy good stuff. Directly exchange, like for example, my
Middleman, basically. You remove
yeah,
the middle person in the
exactly,
blockchain. Yeah.
exactly. The middle person is the most expensive person.
Distributor. Yeah, true.
We really wanted to directly connect like those kind of farmers and like a fishermen or like
Directly to
uh,
the buyer and producer,
exactly.
seller. Okay.
Yeah, to
That's
to
brilliant.
make a new economic system. That's why I thought like blockchain is very important. And starting from the rise is like historically makes sense.
So if people want to participate and support this local
Hmm.
economics of Nishi-Aizu in Fukushima, how do they do that? Do they need to buy NFT or do they need to join your Discord channel or how does it work?
Yes, buying an NFT is easier, and also we have many events. Like we invite those NFT holders to
Mhm.
come to Nishi-Aizu to participate, like our festival or rice harvest. There are many events. Or sometimes we have like a meet
Mhm.
in Tokyo or somewhere. So if you come to that the kind of meetup, we could give you that participation
Mhm.
board as NFT, and then you can participate too. So there are
That's
many
that's
channels.
cool. How many members do you have right now?
Community members number is 600.
That's great. And you started only a year ago, so I think it's
Yeah,
going to increase more. If I understood correctly, Yabe-san, sumimasen, was this a game? People need to play like a game, and the higher you get like scores, you
yeah.
can buy more? Or was my understanding wrong?
Actually, we don't have that kind of system. We just give
Mhm.
you the record that how much you contributed to the farmer or region. So we give you the point that is actually a Kokudaka point, and you can show that the people or the farmer, I contribute you this much.
Mhm.
And then we have a rank.
Rank
It's
system.
just it's just a name of the traditional Japanese samurai rank.
So now you are presenting something. Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, the rank system doesn't really connect to any kind of benefit service. Just you could proud of it.
Ah, okay.
For
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like a social
I know.
status kind of thing, like monetary thing.
It's because we didn't want to use this system for the monetary system or
Yeah.
this kind of thing. So we discussed many time with food.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
this one.
yeah, sorry, this is all in Japanese.
Understand from the これ100 I don't know how you
Hyakusho.
read 100
Hyakusho. Hyakusho means a farmer,
Mm.
but actually in Japan, hyakusho means like working for everything, like 100 kinds of work you could do. So multitask person.
And then it can upgrade to I don't know manager. This
Yeah.
look like a monk. I'm not sure if it's true or not.
This is just like a samurai hairstyle.
あ、そっか。
Uh,
面白い。And then it keeps upgrading until it became daimyo. Daimyo.
daimyo, like the head of crown.
So everybody they can start from 100 and
Hmm.
then it can just by contributing more to this project
Hmm.
can get this type of ranks.
We might think in the future, if you have a higher rank, give you some benefit or some prize or something. But every year we give one person MVP.
Yeah, that's nice. What were some challenges you faced to make farmers or producers here connecting to blockchain? Did they right away accept this idea or they were a bit hesitant?
I think a lot hesitant
Oh,
because first of all, like blockchain itself is not really popular.
sure.
Many people know. Only few people know about the block.
Mhm.
Even like me and Nagahashi didn't know about it before we started
Mhm.
this project. So this is one thing.
One
And
challenge.
not many farmers are kind of risk taker because even like my town's the best product is rice. Only few people are managing as a company.
Yeah.
Like, people are not thinking about really a business.
More
It's
like individual
yeah,
farmer, basically.
that's why people don't want to get involved, especially who is doing the farming in such a inefficient. Uh, if we go to more like Hokkaido, for example, Hokkaido is like a north island that the biggest like a large flat plain there. There are many farmers who does make money by doing farming. I think those people were more interested,
More
but
open
that
to this new technology.
but they are not our target.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
could make money by themselves. I think right now only 3 farmers are
Doing this.
participating.
Do you plan to increase more the number of farmers, or you are still considering to keep it like this number?
We want to encourage more farmers to participate this, but still, I think that if we could sell more, people will join.
Yeah,
Right
that
right
makes
now, not okay. So it's like it's $10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah, yeah, last year.
Yeah.
So if you could make this 10 times more, maybe some farmers will
Yeah.
join.
Yeah.
It depends on how much we could sell, I think.
Oh, that's very good. Maybe more results on the numbers might make people more interested. Do you think this rice system and Web3 can inspire similar agriculture projects in Japan, or is already happening, according to you?
Yeah, I think so. Because the system itself costs a lot. That's why not many another locals can join this or build that same platform by themselves. If we could make this system cheaper, then more lots locals
Can
can join.
participate.
Yeah, and then we already have talked to several people, and they were very interested. Just issue is the investing initial cost and also human resources to maintain the system in the local.
Are you currently based in Nishi-Aizu, if I understand correctly, or are you in
Yeah,
Tokyo?
I live here. This is my house.
Okay.
Nagahashi.
That's very nice. I haven't been there, but I have traveled in some inaka of Jama
Yeah.
near Hiroshima and so on.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
noticed this elder population that they are farmers and they have a lot of issues with health as well, and they couldn't have inheritance. For example, their daughter or son moved to the city working in Tokyo or Osaka, and they don't want to come back to do the hard work.
Yeah.
So I thought, what can it be solved? But this is a great collaboration, I think, that you guys thought. So I love it.
Thank you. This is my property. This rice field is my property. So I also have a large field
But
of rice field.
that rice
So
field, you mean the snow background you have? Or
this rice field
oh,
in after spring, this become rice field.
very
So
nice.
this is also my problem too, like how to find.
Utilize it and find farmers maybe to work on it.
Right now, my younger brother started farming. We always have that kind of money problem, how to sell decent price. Because
Yes.
as Naga has told you, like these 2 years, rice price become very higher, like it's almost like a twice. But still, it's not enough money to make a living for farmers.
Exactly.
Like me, I manage a small hotel here, like a house. And so paying costs from that kind of tourism to re-establish the farming system.
Yeah.
So to keep sustaining the farming, I need to make money by another job. Yeah, I'm a
Wow.
designer and also like
Architect,
managing.
if I am correct?
Yeah, I'm
Architect.
landscape architect.
So the photos now your team is sharing is Nishi-Aizu. This is in winter,
Yeah.
I believe. This is so
Yes.
beautiful.
Like besides my village.
And all of this is with hatake, with rice fields, right?
Yeah. And then these days, like most of them become just weed.
I want to introduce your project to Farcaster, which is a type of a social network like Twitter. I would like to invite you both. I think your project might benefit a lot from being there.
Be great.
And I was doing some similar to Akia DAO type of thing, just helping like community. It has something similar logic of basically both of your project and help the local economy.
Actually, we do a renovation project. It's the same scheme, but we mostly make small like a hotel or
Guest house. I think now, especially foreigners are very interested in Japan, so it's the interest is very booming.
Yeah.
I believe this might gain a lot of attraction. That's why I thought to reach out and have this conversation with you.
Great,
Of
thank
course.
you. If you see the photo that it's on the
Now,
screen right
yes,
now,
I can see. It's a very beautiful photo.
Yeah.
This
Like
is
my town,
Nishi-Aizu, right?
yeah, my town, like the location of a house hasn't been changed for 150 years. I checked the document of the samurai era, how many houses in our town, and it's not much different. Not,
Really?
yeah.
Is this
So
true? Like it hasn't changed since the samurai era?
yeah.
How come?
So that's why most of houses like more than 100 years old. Like I would say 100 years old house is not old in our town. Like my house is like almost 300 years ago house.
Oh man. But
So
is that safe? Like how do you maintain it?
I think so. That's why
I think
we
so. Okay.
and then we have many skill to make it comfortable now. Just depends on the money, how much you could invest. It's so that's why we want to protect this landscape too.
Of course.
Yeah, so we need to create the new economic system to the people to invest the money for that old house, and
Yeah.
also try not to destroy the local culture. Because if we just sell, then it becomes like very bad, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
tourism is like it's like a both-sided sword. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's good to local, but it sometimes destroys the culture. So we need to be very careful.
Some balance, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we always trying to choose who we will introduce our project or to
Yeah,
find the
makes
invest.
sense.
Yeah,
Of
targeting,
course.
marketing, it's very important.
Of
Yeah.
course. You don't want to destroy the peace and harmony in this little small village.
Yeah.
That you have a house for 300 years. That's so cool.
We do many projects. Like I manage international art village here. So this is our town's project, but I'm basically managing this project. Like internationally, many artists are coming to our town, exploring, staying. So these days, many artists coming from Europe. But this year, maybe two Americans come. Yeah, and that's very important because like many come to our town and visually see and experience the local culture.
Yeah, what she's sharing now. This is the
Yeah,
art village that
yeah,
you manage?
yeah.
Or Akia
Actually,
kana? Kore Akia do.
abandoned school.
Ah, abandoned school. But you turn it into art village.
This is our town project. Basically, town asked us to maintain, manage this. Yeah, so this is a like an entrance for the international people.
I see.
Last week, Japan government Facebook something shared our village, so it's an English introduction.
I read the article from Japan government about
Oh,
that's
did
how
you?
I got to learn. That's how I got
Okay,
to
okay.
learn it.
Yeah. So
That's
we are trying to make value from our like very vernacular local culture. Who what and most of Japanese people are not really think it's valuable. Where I am right now. This is
yeah.
Art Village project.
Yes. Japan government Facebook page shared. That's where you're based at this moment, you said? In this art village?
Most of idea coming from here
Oh,
because
right.
we have so much interaction with a lot of like international people or like some scientists or artists, and this place is very important for us. Because of this place, we could create this kind of Kokudaka project.
It's like an inspirational kind of thing. Like you don't want to lose that. It's not Silicon Valley, but it's type of thing that
Yeah.
inspires you.
And not only Nagahashi, we have lots of people who work here in sport, and they're very great. So that's why we could maintain this kind of unique project. It's always about the human resources, right? And
Yeah.
in this kind of countryside, it's very difficult to keep this kind of people. most of people are going toward the city.
If I may ask you, before, did you live in the city or you always lived in Nishi-Aizu?
Me, actually, I lived in Tokyo and I was in Canada and I was in Shanghai
Impressive career. Yeah.
after the earthquake. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be a landscape architect, right? And
Mhm.
I was doing more like urban planning or like designing a park and then this kind of natural conservancy. But after the earthquake, I was very shocking at the same time. So, oh, in this manner, our country will
Disappear.
I would say, because this is my house. It's not helping project. It's my own life. It's very difficult to just support and help. You have to be I would say like I had to be a player that I take
Active
responsible
risk taker.
because it's too difficult. No making money. Not many people. At the beginning, it was very difficult to find any friend.
And if may I ask, Nishi-Aizu has a more elder population?
Yeah, like around my house,
Mm-hmm.
it's a small community. It's about 500 population, and below 50 years old is only 30.
30 people. That's disturbing in a way.
And then that's why we had to have more supporter to maintain our land because of rice field needs a lot of like small canal
Yeah.
irrigation. So it's all maintained by hand. Not
Yeah.
big machine cannot go in. And it's the same as human beings' brain. Make like those small irrigation bigger. We
Mhm.
cannot have a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Our body, why we could touch and feel because those small, like narrow
Narrow veins.
irrigation, and if we make this large and bigger in terms of just efficiency, then our hand will be a die. And this is same in the nature. That's why we could keep maintaining small irrigation by hand. This is very important. That's why we need to collect many people from the city
Mhm.
to help.
To volunteer and support
Yeah,
or even come to live there to help. Yeah.
yeah. And then every year, just 4 times, we need bigger people to do that kind of work.
And
Yeah,
Nishi-Aizu from Tokyo, is it so far if people want to travel there?
it's about like a
Ansem?
4 hours by car. Local train is longer, like it's about 3 hours from Fukushima. It's a Koriyama is like a hub station, and from Koriyama to Nishi-Aizu, it takes about 2.5 or 3 hours. So I would say like 4 hours total. If you rent a car in Koriyama, it becomes like just 2.5 hours from Tokyo.
So yeah, Koriyama is pretty near with Tokyo, so I thought Fukushima is very near.
Okay, I'll share. Wait 4 seconds. And this is my guest house.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
Here we go.
Sure.
Okay. Now it's English website.
Narayama Village. いいね。
This is a view from the village.
す
And
ごい
there are
ね。
many photos. Yeah.
Did you
this kind-
design this, by the way?
Yeah, not only me, but several people. Yeah.
So peaceful. It reminds me a bit of Hoshinoya Resort from the photos.
Yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
So gorgeous.
I would say much better.
Much better. I have never been, to be honest, to Hoshinoya, but I have seen photos. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we just want to keep maintaining this landscape. My ancestors cultivated this land 360 years ago, and I'm 19th generation of this house. So my job is to keep it towards next 400 years landscape. And always just preserving is not really a good thing. We need to slightly change to survive, but at the same time, we shouldn't lose something. Because I'm a landscape architect, I think about this a lot. But like traditional village is, I would say, like the nest of human. The cultivation is not by machine; it's all by hand, right? The village design is very suitable for the human being as a creature, as an animal.
It's our roots, I would like to add. Our origin starts from
Yeah.
there, and Being more near to the nature is something that all of us want, actually. At the end of the day, when it's Saturday, Sunday, we want to go to nature, like hiking or parks or everything. Well, look at the sky, full of
This
stars.
is like daily life, and just beautiful. So like we don't want lose this feeling.
Of course.
Not everywhere could be like this, no. At least we could like keep this like original thing in few locations, and I think I could do that. That's what I like my task for my life, because the other people cannot do because they don't have this land property.
Yeah.
So
Is this your ikigai, Yabe-san?
yeah, I invest all money, all life, and all energy to here.
And probably you want to pass it to your next generation, to your kids or family.
Yeah, it's not only my kids, like anybody who can respect and love this land. This is the most important thing. Like my teacher always say, like topophilia. Philia is like a lab, and topo is like a topography. Yeah, but like this 100 years, people could not rise that topophilia feeling. People treat land as a material, but culturally, we had a lot of soul and a lot of feeling towards the land itself. How to become like harmonize, how to become co with the nature. If we could keep maintain this kind of property, this kind of landscape, we could realize we could learn a lot from that. It's going to be 20 years project to find somebody who could inherit here.
But maybe even faster. You never know.
I'm really grateful that to share about it.
I'm so happy to learn from you as well, and from both Nagahashi-san as well. So I appreciate a lot you taking time today and sharing this knowledge with me and my audience as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.